Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to make Sophie and Toffees Mermaid Water Globe Resin Craft Kit. As you probably have seen, I got this one with my Black Friday haul and I just had to try it out and it was kind of really hard to open. Anyways, the first thing we have is shaker oil, and then we have what we know now from the bathroom thing are actually meant to be like iridescent water bubbles for the resin. And we get some really fine white glitter. This is all for making the snow globe. And the first mold we get looks like it should be the base from the one picture I've seen online, and it has some like water ripple effect on the side. And we get some blue UV resin of the pre-mixed ones. It looks like it's a tiny bottle, so I hope it will be enough, but if not, I can definitely supply with my own. And we also get this one singular bead, and we get the mermaid. This is the one mermaid that's displayed in the middle of the water globe. Next up we have some one-time use cups. I actually don't use them for resin, I use them for mixing pigments for my airbrush. They're perfectly well for that, for like pouring. So yeah, also next up we got some little sandstone things, and we get some of these OVN tissues. They're for cleaning your hands and the surface. They're pretty decent for that. And we also get some clear UV resin. Yeah, as I said, it looks like a little too little resin, but we will see in the end. We also get this thing. It looks like a jewelry base. I'm not too sure what this is for yet. And then we get some like little stars and shells. These are so adorable. These will look really well. I'm not too sure if the starfish will fit, but you know, I can definitely use it for another project. And most importantly, we have the glass dome where the shaker will fit in, and it looks like the flat jewelry mold is like the perfect shape for the glass dome to fit inside. So I think that's actually what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to like put it inside, and I think the hole is there to make it easier to fill in the shaker oil, you know, so you don't have to drill a hole yourself, which is pretty handy. And yeah, the last items we get are some pipettes. And this looks like their standard UV lamp, and yeah, it is a pretty cheap lamp, but the light is really good for using it with resin, so I'm super happy. Now, I'm not too keen on actually putting the glass bulb inside this to like display the mermaid on, so I'm using a tinier mold I have that actually perfectly fits inside the gap of the glass dome. Now I think what you're supposed to do is make the bead, the tiny bead, and then put like the mermaid and all that stuff on, and then like put it inside of the jewelry mold they provided with some resin, and then stick on the glass dome. But I really wanted to make a cool base, so having this like jewelry piece that fits inside the glass dome bottom perfectly is like way better. So what I'm doing is like I'm using the sand and some of the blue provided resin and just making a base and adding some shells on top, and lastly of course the mermaid, and this will be my base. And it's definitely better to have like all the colors and all the scents. And yeah, also from the one video I've seen from Nerdy Crafter, which yeah, so one video I actually remembered seeing this kit from, when you put on the base, or at least how she did it, it's pretty thick and it has like a pretty like good distance from the base, so I didn't really like this. I don't know how I should describe it, but I think it makes the snow globe look a bit like strange, so I wanted to have the globe directly on this base. Anyways, I really used up all of the resin they provided with the last bit I put there, and yeah, Now, after the bit on the inside was cured, I basically just put a glue stick on it. This is the best way to hold these kind of things for a short while, because you can just peel them off. You just need to be careful that it's really secured. And I'm actually using one of the molds as means of securing the glass dome. But anyways, after using a bit of UV resin to put on the base inside, I just, as I said, easily removed the glue stick, and then I'm filling in the gaps, making sure that they're really, really tightly sealed, so no liquid will leak out in the end, because that's always an issue with shakers, having liquid slowly seep out, shaker oil slowly seep out of some gaps that you missed. And then it was time to basically just put on the nozzle they provided and fill in the water globe really, yeah, a lot. And I made sure that there's a little bit of an air bubble, so the glitter would mix well, but yeah, I filled it pretty full. And then I just sealed up the tiny hole and went over everything with another layer of UV resin again. Now you see me making a second one of these bases before the first one cured up. Why I cured it? I cured it from really far away to make sure that doesn't happen, but it still happened for some reason. I think the tiny UV resin bottles, the premix ones, aren't made for this kind of stuff. So I just used their standard one. And to even it out a bit, so the globe with it, I'm just pouring on a tiny bit of UV resin, curing that to have a flat surface, and afterward I'm just putting on the globe with some more. And here we have it. Here's the globe. I think it looks super pretty. I like how the sand is dispersed on the bottom, and I like how the glitter looks. The only thing that I think is kind of sad is that you really cannot see the water bubbles. I think they're more effective if you actually put them inside resin, but yeah, I still think this turned out super pretty, and it definitely works really well as a snow globe. I think this is a great project. The only thing I would have maybe liked was if the base with the water ripples had like a tiny like gap for you to put like the snow globe in, so you could fit it inside, so you don't have the like gap between the like rounded part of the snow globe and the water ripples. But I still think it looks really, really cute, and yeah, this kit worked pretty well. Besides the resin and the larger molds, I think you have to like make really thin layers and cure it, but yeah, a pretty good kit overall. The one thing I just don't understand is why they provide us with the disposable cups, because honestly you can just use the resin out of the bottles. I guess if you want to color them, but then they didn't even provide coloring. Okay, if you want to maybe mix in some glitter for the base, that's maybe the only reason for us to need these cups, but yeah, I think they're just a bit of waste of plastic. But as I mentioned before, I'm gonna use them for my airbrush, and they actually get a lot more use out of that, because I only throw them away when they're like totally bendy and cracking after like weeks of usage, which is pretty good. But yeah, anyways, as I said, a pretty decent kit with all the provided resin you need, actually in perfect amounts from both bottles together, and a pretty good UV light, although the plastic feels cheap, and of course all the shaker oil and stuff. So you basically have everything you need inside of here. Maybe a tiny stirring stick for if you really want to mix pigment or glitter inside of the resin would have been nice, maybe instead of the pipettes, but it works out pretty well, and you even get cleaning supplies for if you get resin on your hands or your surfaces. The only thing this really is lacking is instructions. I know I kind of blazed through this a little bit, but I made this project really fast, so yeah, that's why I hope you guys could pick up how I made it. Anyways, instructions. There was one picture on the website of this being made, and then I just found like 1 or 2 videos of YouTubers that got this kit, but else there was like nothing. But I think how I figured it out is pretty neat. looking, at least in my opinion, and I'm super happy about it. So yeah, anyways, let me know in the comments down below, what did you think of this kit? Did you enjoy it? Would you get it yourself? And as always, I wish you all a great day. Bye!